Well, I picked a dandy of a day to be out here working in the shop. It's 14 degrees outside, 32 inside. I think you can see my breath there. Anyway, but looking at the list of things I've got to get done, I decided to come back and wrap up the power steering system, or at least hope to. I was thinking about doing braided lines for the power steering on this. I usually use braided line for my power steering, but because of time, money, and the interest of being able to fix this out in the middle of nowhere if I need to, I decided to just go to AutoZone and get some replacement hoses. The box is from Napa. It's for a 74 Camaro. The power steering, I told them it was a 1976 Chevy truck, so that should give me a hose that's long enough to reach from the box to the pump. I'm gonna go ahead and start plumbing this up and hopefully get something done on the Jeep today. First thing I need to do is get the right bolts for the power steering box here. The ones that were on the old box were grade 5, they're old, and they actually weren't exactly the right length. So I went ahead and ordered online from monsterfasteners.com grade 8 bolts. They come in 1/2 inch variety, so I was able to get exactly what I need. 3 of them are the same length, and this one here is a little bit shorter. So I went ahead and ordered those. These look like really good quality, and they were shipped to me from Midwest Fastener right here in Michigan, so I think that's pretty cool. In fact, while I was at it, I went ahead and ordered some button head bolts to put in the water pump pulley and hopefully buy myself another 1/8 or 1/4 inch of clearance for the fan and the radiator. On the power steering hoses, you have 2 different types of hoses. There's a high side and a low side. High side is for high pressure. It's got compression fittings on both sides of the rubber and threaded inverted flares on both sides. There are 2 different types of fittings for power steering boxes. The old power steering boxes, like what I'm using, do not have an O-ring. It's just an inverted flare. The newer styles have a longer threaded insert, and it has an O-ring on there. So you have to make sure you're using the proper fitting for the type of box you have. The low side hose has a fitting on one side, which is going to thread into the box, and then the other end is just regular rubber hose. There's a fitting on the back of the power steering pump, and you just use a regular hose clamp to hold it on here. Well, that bit of ambitious work came to an abrupt halt. The power steering box is the older style box that does not use O-rings on the fittings. The power steering pump that I put on the engine, and I've already fitted all the accessories to, is a later model that requires an O-ring. So I'm going to go back to plan A, which is to go ahead and make up some braided lines. I need to order some fittings, one set of fittings that are the old style and one set of fittings that are the new style, so that I can connect the 2 together. And then I'll bring some extra hose with me in case I have any failures out on the trail or on the road trip.